Hello, everyone. This is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review, and I have my special guest with me today, Islandsnake.
Hey, everybody.
And we are reviewing a card by Suleman. Suleman has made some Borderlands cards. Now, neither of us are super familiar with Borderlands, so we have to rate these cards as Magic cards. That is the price you pay when you create a reference card. So let's see what we got going on here. This is Axton Commando.
You zoom in a bit. I can't
Oh,
really
sure,
read.
yeah, of course. How's that?
All right, so I know in the game, like this is the class that like puts down turrets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's see what we got here. So 1 and 2 white for a 3/3. 3 mana 3/3 is good. Legendary creature, human soldier. When Axton Commando enters the battlefield, create a legendary 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token named Axton's Turret. Pay 3. Axton Commando and up to one target artifact creature you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. If you paid white to activate this, they gain vigilance until end of turn. If you paid green, they gain reach until end of turn. If you paid red, they gain first strike until end of turn.
Okay, so we got another one of these.
Yeah, so we saw this in the previous card, Amara, Tiger of Partali.
I like this one better, but I would say that like I'm a little bit confused about this like colorless construct artifact. It's a legendary colorless construct artifact creature. I feel like is it necessary for it to be a legendary artifact creature?
No, I kind of agree with you. Like, I think this would just be better if it said like when Axon Commando enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token.
Yeah, we
Or
don't need
like
the name.
or like
We
or
don't
like
care.
or like you could even make this a little more flavorful by doing something like when he enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless I guess construct artifact creature token with defender because that kind of like I
Yeah.
mean it's a turret, right? It's got defender. Um, and so there's that, and then we have this again, which again
This time I don't mind it too much.
I'm not.
It's less cumbersome than the last one, I
It is
think.
less cumbersome, but I find this version to be a little bit less inspired, and what I mean by that is like, okay, so basically, it's like okay, if you pay white, you get a white ability. If you pay green, you get a green ability. If you pay red, you get a red ability. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it. I mean, maybe this makes sense if you know about Borderlands 2, but like it just feels a little generic here. Like it feels like to me the turret should just have reach, just period. Right? I mean, like it's a turret, it shoots things. It should be able to shoot flying units in
That's a good
general.
point. That's a
Like
good point.
and like I don't know. Like you know what might make this card just cooler is if like if okay, so maybe you keep the token legendary. So maybe this is what you do. You just say like when Axon Commando enters the battlefield, create a legendary 1/1. So okay, first of all, there's also a way to word this kind of a thing. Let me find it out. It's on one of the Nissas. I believe it's Baby Nissa. Where's Baby Nissa? Here we go.
Baby Nissa?
Yeah. So okay,
Why is
create
this
okay
baby Nissa?
because I don't know because she's a little baby and then she turns into a planeswalker.
Oh,
So
okay,
I mean, she's
okay.
not really a baby, but she's a.
So it's like Baby Diva from like Overwatch.
It's like baby Jace. Baby Jace is
Yeah.
like a. It's like
Jace, and then he turns
it's
into a plane
the two yeah the two mana. I don't know. There he is. Jace
I
from
got you. I got
Trilogy.
you.
All right, so let me pop up my notepad here. So okay, so the wording would be okay when this guy enters the battlefield, create Axton's Turret, a legendary, and then what if we just did like 2/2 colorless construct artifact creature token with defender. Well, maybe you don't have to do defender, but you could say like with vigilance and reach or something like that. Or
Okay.
since it's a mono white card, you probably don't want to add reach, so maybe just like a 2/2 with vigilance would work for a turret, I think. right?
Does that let it block flying creatures?
No, it doesn't.
But it's a gun, dude. You
Yeah,
just said that.
I know, I did say that, but if it's mono white, you don't really want to add a reach. I mean, the reason there's reach here is because it's like a green cost, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like, I, I don't know. This ability just doesn't feel that exciting or flavorful to me. It's sort of just like again, it has sort of this cool thing where like you're paying like various costs or whatever, but I don't know. It's just this one just feels a little bit more generic to me. Like I like the idea of like you plop this guy down, you get a turret. Like I think that part works quite nicely. Maybe this would work better if this guy costs like 2 and a white, and then when you create
What if it's Phyrexian mana?
no Phyrexian mana. But okay, but let's just say this guy costs like 2 and a white, and when he enters the battlefield, you create the turret, and then if you spent green to cast this guy, the turret gets a reach counter. If you spent red to cast this guy, the turret gets a first strike counter. Something like that
Yeah, that would be fair.
would work. And then, because this is just like, I don't know, I find this to be just a little awkward. And I mean, it still kind of has the same, it still kind of has slightly the same issue, but it's sort of like more, I don't know. It focuses a little bit more on the turret. I know that this actually like, so this actually affects both of them, I guess. If you paid, they gain reach. If you paid, they gain first strike. Again, I like some of the ideas here. I'm just not sold on the overall design. What about you?
I mean, I guess I think maybe he's going for like different talent trees, for like, because I think there's three. I'm not sure. But I almost feel like this would be better if he just like picked a lane.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If it was like red or green, not like three different things. And I almost feel like this could be more simple if he made it so like you can like enchant your creatures, um, by paying mana after he's like summoned, and that way you don't have to do this odd thing where like you have to remember what you paid. Um, where you could just
What do you
like
mean by
so
enchanted
like
creatures?
pay one green, like have it on the card to say pay one green to
Right.
give
Yeah,
a
yeah.
target artifact reach, pay one red, so it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have it a thing it can just do, right? So he can
Right,
like
right,
enchant
right.
his turret.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um
Yeah, I mean,
but
I kind of agree. So you could just give him three different abilities, and it would sort of be the same thing essentially.
yeah, and like I still think it would be like maybe flavor wise he's going for like the try situation, but I think two would work better because then you can
Well,
like
yeah, and the other thing is like I feel like okay, so I feel like if this and I'm not sure that's necessarily what he's going for, but if this is sort of going the talent tree route, I would really like to see a more creative way of doing that. And in fact, the thing about talent trees is you I mean, okay, nowadays yes, games let you like respec, but you're supposed to sort of pick a talent and go with it, right? And this is
Mhm.
like you can kind of like pick a talent every time you cast this ability, if that makes sense, you know? So like
Yeah,
I almost wish it was more of like a permanent thing. Like what I mentioned, like you cast this guy and then based on like and maybe you can only choose one of these or something, right? Like
yeah,
maybe like maybe you keep his cost here and you just like say, okay, well for this other mana, if it's white, then they both get vigilance. If it's green, they both gain reach. If it's red, they both gain first strike, and that's that, right? It's just like you've picked your talent tree, and so now you're stuck with it. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think that yeah. As is, I'm less enthused by this card. I think so. I'm gonna go like a 2 out of 5.
You 2 out of 5. I'm still gonna go with the 3 out of 5. Like,
Also, I don't like that character in the game. So,
okay, fair enough.
and it's a 3/3. Doesn't come on.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's a if your power and toughness are equal, then in Island's book, that's a negative.
Yeah.
But I don't. It doesn't bother me. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. Again, I think there's some cool ideas here. I really like the idea of him like having a turret. But yeah, I don't know. I just wish. I think the more I see this, the more I'm not a huge fan of it because it just makes the card really wordy, and complex
Well,
and
I actually really don't like this version of it. Like,
yeah,
I almost feel like it should be like a kicker situation. Like, I feel like it's either because you can kind of just like fall back on this later, right? Like,
yeah,
you could just cast this whatever. So there's not like a choice you're really making when you cast this card. It's just you
yeah,
cast the card, and then next turn you can enchant your thing. If it was like a choice you had to make like up front, where it's like, pay a kicker to like give this thing a bonus,
right,
then that would
yeah.
be one thing.
That's kind of true. I mean, I think the idea he's going for here, Suleman, is you're kind of making that choice by the lands you're putting in your deck. So like, oh,
Yeah,
if you're like
that's
green,
fair.
if you're like green white, then you get like Vigilance and Reach. If you're like, but you have to be base white, so you could also be like green, white red or whatever. But if you have all three, then you kind of get all three. But it doesn't like I don't. Basically, my thing, I guess to wrap it all up, like I don't quite see the flavor of this. Essentially, right? Like it's basically just like, well, you know, based on the color of mana you pay, you get a generic keyword ability, and it doesn't really tell me what this is for. Like if you weren't here and you didn't say like, oh, this is, this maybe represents the talent trees, I wouldn't have put that together, and so yeah, I kind of wish this was done in a little bit more clever way, a little bit more flavorful way.
I
um,
agree.
so yeah, I'll give this one a 3 out of 3. Or sorry, excuse me, I said a 3 out of 3. 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5 from Island. And that's
Yep.
our review of Axton Commando. Thanks for watching.